Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's video we'll be going over the beautiful new upcoming character Skadi, along with the 4 stars that will be appearing on this banner. This banner is actually different from what we experienced in CN server, but it honestly doesn't change much. We'll talk about all that later though, but for now, let's get straight into the video, starting with Skadi. Skadi is a very cool character. She has a lot of mechanics in her kit that makes her very fun to play. She has a mix of a melee damage dealer fighting style, then she gains range when she transforms into her jet ski mode. It's pretty cool. Skadi is currently our only ice melee DPS character. Her kit is very simple, but she's unique because she has more defensive options. She can block attacks, and if you time it correctly, you can even counter the enemies, which is fun to pull off. She also has a charged attack, which is pretty important to her kit as well. If you pull off her counter, then she will immediately cast her charged attack. That becomes more important if you have her signature key. So Skadi is part of the Yggdrasil faction, but you're not really going to want to build her in a Yggdrasil team. You're going to want to build Skadi in an ice team. There's a reason for this though. Let's talk about it real quick. The reason you want Skadi in an ice team is because Skadi doesn't have any significant self buffs within her kit. So she needs to rely on outside resources in order to increase her own damage. She does have a mechanic that can give her a decent 30 to 40% damage increase, but it's not consistent. So this is why Poseidon is so strong with Skadi, because Poseidon has easy access to ice resistance shred, and it's an AoE, so it's even better. If you have Skadi's signature key, then this is even more powerful. Personally, I feel like her signature key isn't really worth. That's what I said in the previous video, but let me get into more detail with that. Skadi is heavily reliant on having a specific team for her to really work, specifically as Poseidon. Not only does Poseidon provide ice resistance shred, but she also has a team-wide ice damage buff. If Skadi has her signature key, then Poseidon gains even more value because Skadi has to rely on Poseidon for the resistance shred in the first place. So we can't really do anything without Poseidon, honestly. Everything relies on having Poseidon. So Posey is really priority. If you want to play Skadi, and if you don't have Posey, then Skadi is going to be a fraction of what she could actually be. So I rated her signature key not recommended because there's pre-requirements to achieve before the signature key is even worth going for. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but let's take a look at the A ranks and then we'll come back to Skadi because I still have some things to say about her. Alright, so the first A rank we'll look at is Cali. Cali is a bittersweet character in my opinion. Cali has one of the most fun fighting styles. I say that a lot, but it's true. Aether does a really good job with making characters fun, and Cali is a perfect example of that. What makes her fun is the fact that most of her attacks can combo into each other. So it actually feels as if you're weaving in combos with her. Depending on which Aether code you use, there will be a skill gap. So if you're a button masher, Cali is not the character for you because she definitely requires some skill. The problem with Cali though is the role she's playing. Cali is a melee lightning DPS. We literally just had a melee lightning damage dealer one banner ago, so everyone either already has their Tsukuyomi built or they're still building her. Resources are already hard to come by, so is it really smart to use resources on an A rank lightning damage dealer, that's something you'll have to ask yourself, because maybe you don't have Tsukuyomi. Maybe you miss her banner within Cali, maybe more appealing for you, but for a majority of players, Cali's just in a bad spot. It's a good thing we get her for free though, because she's honestly a very fun character. Next up we have Leviathan. Leviathan is pretty interesting. She is pretty much going to be your ice team support. That's really her only good team composition, to be honest. She does have a unique mechanic in her kit though. Her yellow Aether code allows her first skill to reduce crowd control points. This sounds good, but it's only good if you don't have Poseidon on the team, because when Poseidon is on the team, she freezes the enemy so fast that this doesn't even matter. So there are some use cases for this, but it doesn't work out the way you might think, especially with Poseidon. And if you run Ice Team, then you want to run Poseidon, so it's kind of bad, to be honest. But if you don't have Poseidon, you might be able to put it to good use. Besides that, she's just a decent Ice Team support, nothing too crazy. Ice characters in Aether Gazer are kind of in a bad spot right now, besides Poseidon, but hopefully we get some good ice characters soon. Next we have Apollo. I'm not even gonna fake like I know what this man is capable of. I haven't built him, and I haven't seen anyone on CN server actually use Apollo, so I can't really tell you how he performs. He has an interesting kit. From what I've played of him, it's kind of clunky, but it's interesting. He seems to be a straight damage dealer just from looking at his kit. He doesn't have any supportive capabilities. All of his skills and passives are all self-buff increases. So whether he can actually deal damage is to be seen. I know I've seen some pretty sketchy screenshots. There's a running joke in Discord showing an Apollo team ranking in the top 3, so who knows? If you're an Apollo main, let me know what's up. I haven't seen anyone use Apollo personally, so I wouldn't say he's trash, but I would say Apollo is a pretty low priority character. Okay, that is the banner overview. To be honest guys, this whole patch is a hard skip. This whole patch is a skip, especially if you are free to play. Trust me. Skadi is a decent character, but I would not recommend you pull for Skadi, only if you like the character. She is a very fun character. She is, in my opinion, one of the best looking characters. At first I thought her clothes were tacky, but it grew on me. She got some drip, you know what I'm saying? She looks good. So if you have the currency and you want a fun character to try out, she just might be for you. But before you pull, just know that you need S Poseidon if you want Skadi to deal some decent damage. She needs her. Cali is another unfortunate situation, another fun character, but her being a lightning DPS is overlapping Tsukuyomi's role, and then we got Thor around the corner like a few months from now, so where does that really leave Cali? We already have a lightning DPS, so I don't think people are looking to build another one. She also looks very good. She's got the tan skin, jet black hair, the abs are out. She's cute. I just wish she was any other element besides lightning, you feel me? So again, this banner is a hard pass, but I will say the summer event was pretty fun and also challenging. There are some pretty difficult events in the summer patch, so be sure to check all that out. This patch was actually moved forward, as you might have heard in CN server. We had Hela and Hera patch before we had Skadi and Leviathan patch, but they ran right after each other, so this really doesn't change anything besides players having to wait even longer before we can pull for Hera, right? So my advice would be to just enjoy the event and stack those gems. We have a long time to save, so if you are still listening right now, do me a favor, let me know how your account is doing in the comments. I try to create my content in a way where you can get value from it, whether you're whale or free to play, but I need to know how the community is doing. We're like a month into the game or whatever, so I like to know what the average player's account is looking like right now. Just let me know if you're free to play or a dolphin or even a whale, and then your account level, and also how many S rank characters you have right now. It'll help me for my upcoming videos, so thanks in advance if you decide to do that. I'll probably just make a poll too, but that is the end of the video. If you made it this far, guys, I have nothing but love and respect for you. Thanks so much for the support. It is a pixelated homie. Hope y'all have a good day. I will catch y'all in the next video.